Budgeting is the number one tool that I use to pay for my traveling. Back in July, I moved to New Zealand and I had to open a new bank account. So I went from zero to $6,000 in savings in 3 months. And today I want to share with you the 3 rules that I use to do that. Working a normal job 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. I know people that earn as much as I do or even more, but at the end of the month they're still broke. This is because they don't know how to manage their personal finances. So it doesn't matter if you're earning $10,000 a year or $100,000 a year, if at the end of the month your bank account is still empty. And you end up asking yourself, where did all of my money go? This takes us to rule number 1, write down your expenses. I'm going to do a little story time now for you to understand how important it is to write down your expenses. So we have to go back in 2015 when I was living in London, or actually I just moved back to my home country. And I was staying at my parents' house, so I didn't have any expenses. After a couple of months, I noticed that there was something going on in my bank account that it was a little bit weird. There were these little payments that I had no idea where they came from. I had got scammed. And I'm still not sure how that happened. I suppose it was while buying something online. But this is what was going on. They were taking these very small payments out of my bank account. Sometimes it would be $20, other times $16, and I never noticed because they were such small amounts. And I noticed after a year because I was at my parents' house and I wasn't spending any money. So sometimes I wonder if I stayed in London longer or I traveled somewhere else, would I have noticed? I don't think so. So learn from my mistakes, write down your expenses, but not only to avoid getting scammed. I believe it's very important for us to know where our money goes and how much we're spending, not only for big expenses like rent and bills, but especially for those little expenses like shopping and eating out. Knowing your spending habits will help you understand not only where your money goes, but also if there are some expenses that you can cut off. And this doesn't have to be a fancy or complicated Excel sheet. I stand for simplicity and minimalism. When I first started, I was doing it on my bullet journal, and I still use it even now. As you can see over here, these are all the expenses that I've done during these months. When I don't have my bullet journal with me, because it's not like I take it with me everywhere, I write all the expenses in the notes of my phone, and afterwards I transfer everything to my bullet journal. And there are also some apps that you can use. The one that I started with is called Moneyfy. It's very simple to use, and there are some ready-made categories, and it's also free, which is always good. And it's also very visual, because every time you log in a new expenses, it will tell you in which category you're spending the most money on. Now I pass to another app, it's called My Wallet, and there you can have multiple accounts. For example, at the moment I'm tracking my New Zealand bank account and cash. So it's also a free app, but you can add for free only up to 3 accounts. Afterwards you've got to pay. But if this is the first time that you're tracking your expenses, you want to keep things as simple as possible, you don't want to overdo it. This has to become a habit. Doing it for 1 week and then not doing it anymore because you feel overwhelmed doesn't help. At the beginning, I was tracking my expenses daily, and I suggest you to do the same. And yes, I want you to write every single expenses, even the coffee that you took at Starbucks and the $1 that you gave for charity. You need to write down everything. Only in this way you will understand your spending habits. If you think that you will not be able to do it daily, that you will forget, it's okay, don't worry. Sometimes I forget as well. In this case, what you can do is keep all the receipts and check your bank account statement weekly. But always make sure to write down all your cash expenses instantly or you will forget. You also want to write down your income, whether it's your salary or the 20 euros that your grandma gave you. Knowing how much money is coming in is as important as knowing how much money is going out. Rule number 2, live below your means. And I stop you there. I know what you're thinking. You want to enjoy life, you don't want to live to work, you want to have some fun as well. Living below your means doesn't mean not to have fun. You receive your paycheck And by the time the next one arrives, you've already finished your money. Your balance is zero. And it's not even your fault. At school, they don't teach us how to manage our finances. And purchasing something is so easy these days. Even the most expensive thing, with a tap of the card, the purchase is gone and we didn't even see it. You know, no one likes to see their money leaving their bank account or their wallet. This is why credit cards are so popular. They are designed to make us spend more, with a few simple steps and a smooth transaction. When I say living below your means, I don't talk about living a poor, boring life. It's quite the opposite actually. I want you to live below your means so that you can afford to spend more money on the things that you want and you really enjoy. Everything starts with the right mindset. And you know, it's all about priorities, what is important to you. And it could be the holiday that you want to go with your partner, or the course that you wanted to buy but you were never able to afford it, or you finally want to buy your own car. Instead of spending all of the money that comes in every month in futile stuff, you consciously choose to allocate some of that income into your big dream. And to do this, I suggest you to have a separate bank account for savings. So as soon as the money comes in, you automatically put some money into your savings account. This way you will be sure to not touch it until you reach the amount that you desire. Now I want to share with you a little story time again. The first time that I started doing this, I was in London working as an au pair in a family, and they were paying me weekly pocket money. So I had 3 goals. The first one was to get a tattoo that I really wanted. The second one was to be able to travel around a little bit, and the third one was to be able to pay for my English course. So what I did was preparing 3 envelopes, and every time that they were giving me the pocket money, I would put £10 into each one. When the weeks went on, my strategy changed a little bit. I was keeping £40 into my wallet, and everything else was getting divided into the 3 envelopes. And if sometimes I didn't spend those £40, what would I do was dividing all the pocket monies into those 3 envelopes. When it comes to save up, it's very important to know your why, and this is our third rule of the day. You need to have a clear goal in mind. And I'm not talking about a financial goal. I mean, yes, it's important to know how much money you need in order to achieve it, but having a lot of money in your bank account, it's not something that pushes you to save up more. You want to have a goal that pulls you towards it, so that prioritizing it and saving up money for it, it becomes very easy. My financial goal for saving up $6,000 in 3 months was to be able to afford traveling around for over a month. So my financial goal wasn't to have $6,000, it was to afford traveling for a month and a half. This is what pushed me to save money in the first place. Then, you know, it's up to you. Spending your money for the latest popular thing or saving up for the thing that you really want. The choice is yours. I hope this video will help you improve your personal finances. And if you have any questions or you have other tips that you use to save up money, leave them in the comments below so we can all learn from it. And make sure to put a thumbs up if you found the video useful. And please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one. And I see you in the next one. Bye.